You're on.
Okay. Things of the world. God's thoughts are not like man's thoughts. God does not speak to us in material forms. He doesn't speak to us in the material things or the material ways of life. Men think, I've got to get more of this, I've got to get more of that. And if God gives you a dream about you and your son driving in a really nice car provided to you by your older brother, those are spiritual terms. That is not, God isn't saying go buy a lottery ticket or give it to your brother so you can have great wealth on earth. God doesn't, He don't even think in those forms. Material wealth to God is something that is very trivial. It's not even a thing that is considered in the pattern of His thought. And I know this because of reading about the way He does things in the Bible. It's not even a tool that He would use to bring men into a reality of God. You ask God for great understanding and great opportunity. He don't throw money at you. I've asked Him 1,000 times. I bought 100 lottery tickets, and at no point, not at the same time, one at a time, at no point has the Lord answered that prayer. Give me the, I thought He did one night. There was some numbers I was giving, you know how the Bible teaches us how to give, and we will receive in our giving. So I had this dream one night, and I saw very clearly the amount of money that I gave. It was in ones and fives and whatever. And so I picked out the numbers that I found in my wallet, and I played them as a lottery ticket, and didn't even get close. That was not what God was saying at all. Okay. Isaiah 55:8 says of the Lord God, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord." And the King James says it like this, which is a more accurate description. It says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord." And let's read the next verse there. 58:9. I think it's the next verse.
I thought you was on 55:8.
"For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways." See, God can see the outcome. He sees what is happening past. He knows every little detail. He knows the length of your days. The Bible tells us He knows the number of the hairs on our head. He knows what will make you happy. He knows what will make you content. Listen, the only thing that's really holding us back in the fullness of our joy is the way that we think about things that are going on around us. You can live in turmoil and have just as much money as your neighbor. You could all have the same car. You can have the exact same house. You can have a very beautiful wife. You can have 3, 4 kids. You can have plenty of money. You can have everything planned out from that day until the day your grandbabies die. You can have it all planned out, and knowing that it will happen in just that fashion. And unless an F5 tornado comes along, some of you even have that covered through insurance, insured to the gills, and you can have everything you need. One of you would be in perfect harmony, perfect health, perfect everything, beauty, just relaxed, comes home at night, sleeps like a log. And the neighbor, who has everything the same, comes home and he gets 3 hours of sleep at night. He is so worried about will his insurance company go broke? He's so worried about Will his car break down? He'll have extra stress. Will his job hold up? Will his kids run off with somebody he don't like, become Muslims and move to another country? Blah, 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 blah. And the list goes on. And the difference between the two is the one who has put himself safely in the hand of God. Listen, things are going to go... One thing you can count on, things are going to go wrong in this life. You pray and you trust God to bring things back into harmony with who we are in Him. Listen to this. It says, I beseech you, brother, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto Him. All that you are, present to God as a living sacrifice. Trust in Him. Trust in Him. Okay? Little children. 1 John chapter 2. My little children, these things I write unto you, that you sin not. Excuse me. And if any man sin, we have an advocate with the Father, Jesus Christ. And He is He is the proclamation for our sin. He is the propitiation for our sin. And not of ours only, but also for the sins of the whole world. Okay, and go down to verse 15. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. For if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life, is not of the Father. Do you hear what that said? These things are not of God. If we, King Solomon was one who, he confessed himself to dive into the pleasures of the world. And he said, from nothing I held myself back from. From nothing he held himself back from. There's people that believe that King Solomon didn't make it to heaven. He was a chosen of God. I'm not, he was, and there, of course there's a lot of people that believe once saved, always saved, that type of thing that King Solomon did. But I believe that we won't know for sure until we get to heaven, because I don't know where his heart was at his point of death. And that's what's important. That's what's important in ours. Through all of the things that we do, through all the places that we go, how we present ourselves to the public, whether we be in politics, whether we be in the head of factories, whether we be in the banks handing out money, whatever position that we are in, our heart is to be totally sold out to God in everything that we do. If you're the head of the household, if you're a pastor of the church, listen, there's pastors of the church who simply will not make it to heaven because their heart is not totally sold out to God. Their heart is totally sold out to the people. They give everything they have for the people. They give themselves. And in 1 Corinthians 13, I think it is, the Bible tells us if we give everything that we have. Let's go there and read that. And then I'll be done. Because I want you to know exactly. No, don't want Bible Gateway. It's so hard for me to maneuver through Bible Gateway. Okay, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, is not proud. That's the NIV. And in the King James it calls it charity. So I'm just going to kind of substitute that word. Okay. Verse 5, does not behave itself unseemly, seeth not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil, rejoice not in iniquity, but rejoice in truth, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Charity faileth not. This one verse I want you to pay particular attention to, okay? Wherever there is prophecies, they shall fail. Wherever there is tongues, they shall cease. Wherever there is knowledge, it shall vanish away. For we know in part, we prophesy in part. And that's true. You know what the Bible tells us here, we prophesy in part. Remember that next time you're judging someone who says he's a prophet, okay? But when that which is perfect is come, that which is in part shall be done away with. When I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, and I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall we know even also as I am known. And now abideth faith, hope, and charity. The greatest of these is love. Okay, now here's a verse I want you to pay attention to. It says, and though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and have not love, it profit me nothing. You can have everything you ever dreamed of, but if you are missing love, Romans 12 and 2. Romans 12 and 2. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good, acceptable, perfect will of God. See, unless you have that, then it profit you nothing. You're searching after things, and you're searching after things of the world. Okay? Searching after things of the world. And I just realized I'm supposed to give this verse to my son. Alrighty, God bless you. We'll see you next time. Another great message right here across in the Middle Ministry.